We are going to do a quick little video on how to water. We get this question daily, many times daily at this time of the year. It is summertime. Summer of 2024 has been exceeding records for the heat, and it's been just a straight drought. We have not had a whole lot of rain, so we're constantly having people reach out to us with questions about their plants and how to water and how to successfully water. And we're constantly having to teach people how to do it properly. So there's a lot of different information and different factors that affect watering. But at this point, even established plants that have been in the ground for years are stressed out. So you may even have to water plants that have been in the ground and established for years if it's been a drought like it has been this summer. So when you're going around and watering, we do recommend watering in the morning if possible. That way the plant can use that water throughout the day, especially when it's really hot. And if there's a breeze like there is today, it can pull the moisture off of the plant even faster, and the plant can dry up. You will have plants even show you that they need water, like a hydrangea. You'll come home from work and you'll see it looks sad. It looks like it needs water. That can also be a sign of too much water in some instances as well. So a great way to tell if something needs water, if you aren't sure, is to feel the soil. We have moisture meters that you can stick into the soil that'll tell you if a plant needs water or not. But I mean, even just sticking your finger into the soil and feeling it for yourself. This is great for container gardening. So if you have containers at home, they are going to need moisture more than something that's in the ground. Our clay soil around here tends to hold a lot more moisture than some of our potting mixes that we have for pots. So when you're watering, it's great to water at a nice stream. So we have this great attachment that you can change the settings. This is going to be too hard of a stream for perennial or annual flowers. So we recommend doing like a nice rain shower if you can on your flowers. For bigger plants, like this is a green giant arb, we want you to do a slow trickle. So what I'm actually going to do is take this attachment off, and we recommend this for plants that are of a decent size, so mostly your woody shrubs and trees. And just turn your attachment to just a slow trickle, and you're going to put it right at the base of the plant. This one's in a pot, but you would do this in the ground. You can set your timer on your phone or on your watch for about 5 minutes and then come back to that. So we're going to set our timer for 5 minutes. Once it goes off, we'll come back to this, and then we can pull the hose off and move on to the next plant. That way it soaks into the soil, goes down to the root. Especially for new plants that you're trying to establish, it's important that it gets soaked in and goes deep. The roots are going to go deep then. If you don't do that, if you just do surface watering, the roots are going to stay at the surface and you're not going to have a nice strong plant. So if you can water deeply, the roots are going to set deeply and you're going to have a nice established plant that stays strong for years and years and years. So yeah, we'll come back in about 5 minutes and take this off of here. So we're back. We just pulled the hose off of our green giant arborvitae. Another point we wanted to make is that we're watering the soil around the plant. So I had mentioned about using your shower for perennial flowers and annuals, letting the water soak in. It's okay to get it on the foliage and everything. But when you're watering a bigger shrub, a woody tree, woody shrub, you do want to water the soil base where the roots are. Specifically with roses, you want to make sure that you're not splashing the water up. So if I was watering a rose and I had this would be splashing the moisture and the soil and dirt up onto the rose, and that can promote disease and issues. So if you're watering a rose, just make sure you're watering it at the base of the plant, around the plant where the roots are going to be, letting it soak in nice and deep. If you're watering it with this shower stream, you might have to water it for about a minute and then come back to it so that soil can kind of open up and absorb the moisture, and then come back to it and water it in a little bit again, just to give it a once over, you don't have to water every day. So if you water this way and you water correctly and deeply, you could get away with watering every 2 to 3 days and be successful. If you're watering like this every day, it's going to be too much water for your plant. So keep that in mind. When you do purchase plants from us, we do give you this handout. So we have watering instructions in our handout, and it tells you exactly how to water. And mulch. So mulch is going to help you to keep moisture in the soil. There are certain plants that you don't want to do mulch on, like your lavenders. You want to keep that moisture away from the crown of the plant. And for this situation though, most plants, if you're mulching, it is going to keep the water around the base of the plant and keep it moist and keep weeds down as well. So depending on the plant size that you get, this is kind of a good general guideline for watering, so you know how long to do it for. So now we're going to go inside and we're going to talk about some of these different attachments and things that you can use to help you water your garden. So we'll meet you inside. All right, we're back inside here. There's a lot of attachments out there that you can use for your garden hoses. This was the one that I was just showing you out in the yard. This is nice because it just flips up. You don't have to squeeze it. There are attachments like this one where you squeeze it. This does have a soaker setting on it, which is nice. If you wanted to soak your plants like we were just teaching you to, you can leave this attachment on and then you just tighten this and it stays in place while you go set your timer and walk away. There's some longer ones, especially if you have higher to reach items like hanging baskets. These are nice for reaching and not bending over. So if you have roses and you don't feel like bending over like I was showing you in the yard, you can use an attachment like this. And that also has the different settings on there as well. There's many different sprinklers out there. These Dram are really nice, high quality, all metal. I believe are they made in the US? I don't know, but they're the best. So we carry the Dram. This is an oscillating sprinkler. So the thing with using a sprinkler is that you don't have to stand out there and hold your hose. It's just going to get everything wet, which can be wasting of water as well. So that's the nice thing about using a hose, is that you can pinpoint exactly where you're watering. But if you have a big area that needs water, a vegetable garden or such, this can be the way to go. There are many soaker hose options. We have these little bedwetter soaker hoses. So when you attach this to your hose, the water bleeds through this. So the entire hose will be wet and it's a slow drip and then it soaks into the soil. So this bedwetter, it's called, is for our smart pot, the big bag beds. And this is a great container garden that you can use for veggie gardening. So essentially you would put this hose right around your veggie garden and just attach it, and you can turn it on and off. You can set it to a timer so that it waters everything in this bag at whatever increment you like. Again, if things are in containers, they're going to be in a lighter weight mix. They're going to need more water than something that's in the ground. So some of your containers you might need to water every day at this time of the year. And then if you have trees, especially trees that are far away from hoses, these tree gators are a great way. I think we have two different sizes here. I think this one kind of comes up a little bit more, and this is more like a donut shape. You'll put this around your tree, fill it with water, and then you're going to refill it every 5 to 7 days. But it continuously waters for 5 to 8 hours. So it's a nice way to get a nice, slow, deep water to your trees, especially newly established. We do not recommend doing a whole lot of tree planting at this time of the year. July and August are really, really hot and usually very dry. So it does not make for an ideal condition for planting trees. And a lot of our tree growers are not digging at this time of the year either. So it can be hard to get trees, and there's a certain reason why, and it's the weather. So if you can wait to plant your trees till September, it's going to be much better for everyone. But if you have planted them in the spring, Obviously, your tree's roots are not totally established yet, so continue to water deeply or rely on one of these tree gators. Another point to make, if you're watering your plants every day, specifically our annuals, so our annual hanging baskets, containers, you're going to need to fertilize. You may notice that your plants look really, really sad if you're watering them every day and you're not giving them nutrients. So we always recommend feeding your plants. You could do this once a week, once every 2 weeks. Anything's better than nothing. And you would just put this into a watering can. So you just take a scoop of this Bud and Bloom, put that in your watering can, fill your gallon watering can up with water, and then just water it into the soil of the plant. So that's a great way to take care of your plants and keeping them looking great through the whole season. You'll notice a lot of people's plants tend to fade as we get into these hot months, July and August, with the watering if they're not feeding. So you can also use this on some of your perennials as well. This is a great time of the year to cut back some of those perennials that have bloomed. I've cut back my catmint and my salvias lately, and they're already reflushing. I have cut back my lavender as well, and those plants are reflushing new growth. So this is going to help them to bloom and have more growth come out faster. So make sure you're fertilizing your plants. So that's just a quick once over on watering and watering basics. If you have questions, make sure you reach out to us at Aikenback Garden Center. If you have pictures of plants, we are constantly looking at plant pictures. Sometimes you might think it's a watering situation and it's actually a bug. So sometimes sapsuckers can actually replicate what a plant would look like if it didn't have enough water. So a blue spruce, for instance, which I had at my house, it was dropping its needles. So I initially thought, oh, I need to water it more. I'm not watering it at all. It's established. So I looked closely and it was actually a spider mite. So make sure you're looking at your plants closely. If you have a situation like that where you feel like you've been watering and nothing's changing, it could be a bug. And bugs are rampant at this time of the year as well. So if you have questions, feel free to contact us. Thanks.